Right, good evening everybody. Thank you for coming to our annual general meeting. It's 7:30, so we're ready to crack on. Before I start, I just want to let everyone know that I'm doing a voice recording of this meeting. So item 1 on the agenda is the election of a new chairman and vice chairman. So have we got anyone stepping forward for the chairman position?
Yes.
Anyone else?
If there's no other nominations, Mr. Chairman, then we accept Stuart as chairperson.
Yeah. All in favour? Just have a show of hands, please. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's mine as well.
6. Yeah. Okay, those against? No. Okay, so Stuart's the chair.
Right, then we'll carry on with the agenda. The next item is the election of vice chair. Have any nominations or volunteers or? So we just need a show of hands on Margaret then.
6, 7, and against.
Thought it was something I said. Apologies. No apologies.
Yes, I've one apology from County Councillor perspective.
Right.
Closest to you.
Yeah. We have got a report from Peter.
Yes, I've accepted.
Thank you. Declarations of interest.
Yes. Please, Chairman.
Yeah.
Item 25, C.
That's the planning.
That's in planning, yes.
And I have chair as well on the item where we appoint to outside bodies, Mr J Bowler being my husband, on the Jane Avery Trust.
Okay. Lovely. So we'll go on to item number 5, public participation. Is there anybody from the, yes, sir?
I'm sorry, Dan.
Hi,
I take it most people on this letter addressed to the parents from the Department of Learning up about the Ashley Road housing. Effectively, the instruction from Solicitor Gove is refused to overturn the appeal. It just raises a few interesting questions. In the first place, we were told that we had 6 weeks in which for HDBC to appeal and make a legal representation to appeal against this. Do we know if that appeal was made? And an appeal to High Court, and what legal technicality? Do you know? We assume it wasn't.
I personally don't know whether, David, whether you know for sure.
I've got the same letter from Luke, and basically, I don't think anyone knew about that.
No.
Only the department themselves. It was a new one to all of us that had written and objected to the application in the first place. I'll have to give the clerk a copy of the letter, but basically it's too late anyway.
Well, it's gone by, if that's the case, it's
We've gone by the 7 weeks.
But I would say all is not lost on this, it's a bit of a long shot. But it states powers under section 110 of the Planning Act to overturn a decision, that it will only be used in exceptional circumstances. If the original decision is just so grossly wrong that damage is likely to wider public interest. We know that there's no precedent for the situation on Ashby Road. We know there was a conflict of legal opinions between the two councils, and the government inspector chose to side with Jarwood. Well, he had no right to do that. That's a legal matter. We've lost that opportunity now by another field. But we have no precedent at all for this situation. And I'd say that it really ignores democracy. For it to say that it's not in the wider public interest, and it ignored that particular approach in making the decision. It surely is in the wider public interest. We've done a neighbourhood plan. It was voted on. And now the democracy is being ignored. There's still possibly an avenue for facing one of the things. I don't know what it will be. I know people around here are more so than I am using social media. That's neither involved. Get higher profiles so it gets raised in Parliament. And they make some progress. Just a suggestion.
Total disregard for the neighbourhood plan by the inspector and just assumption.
So I think we have a
Slap in the face for the work done around the neighbourhood plan, which is still valid, yet they want to increase the number of houses for our village, which is basically something.
So obviously we all support parish council on this, and they do their avenues as well. It's all pointing one direction, and they get to the city.
Yeah.
We'll have a look at that.
I have written to Luke again, asking him to raise the questions around neighbourhood plan and the validity of neighbourhood plan in the planning process held by the inspectors in central government.
Well, sorry, state that Prime Minister's question time.
Yeah.
The Prime Minister's supporting it. So
Yeah.
that's the answer.
Did that letter go from you personally, David, or has it gone as you as a council?
Me personally, because it was follow up from
It affects you?
previously, from the original objections, which the parish fully supported.
So it may be from a parish council perspective, we can reinforce your individual letters with a parish council letter on
Because
behalf.
otherwise it's a red light for the whole of Leicester Road as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The other things going through as well.
I don't know whether we can get any legal advice on whether we can challenge the decision.
Well, you can always get legal advice.
Yeah.
It's what that legal advice says, that
Absolutely.
the issue.
I don't know whether it would support
Yes, that's
Yes,
the,
He has.
Yeah, he was at the appeal
Yeah.
and represented parish and argued my case. And I know he's been in touch with MP as well. But as he said, there is never been a case ever that the Secretary of State has called in.
Can we perhaps move this towards the neighbourhood plan group to see if you can, and write something, a letter or some form of support? Because obviously we can't solve anything as we sit here, and it's a very valid comment to make, and it does need following up, but as we're refreshing neighbourhood plan, it might be an opportunity
Yeah.
I think that's the best.
the thing that surprised me, Chair, I must admit, is that because it was the first case law, if you like, because it is case law now, in planning terms, that decision by the inspector will have been checked. That's my own fear.
We'll make it find out.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
As the main instigator of the acquisition of the community centre, when you go into private session, would I ask the council, or encourage the council to consider, you have an asset there that would cost up to £2 million now to replace, and I strongly recommend that it be run by a professional organisation, such as any sports, somebody of that ilk, which would obviously alleviate the council from having to subsidise it, and could ultimately lead to the council getting revenue out of it. So, ask the council, take that into consideration.
We certainly will. We've got
Thank you.
we've got a number of options that are up for discussion, so we'll certainly take that on board, and thank you for raising it. Any more questions or comments from the public? No, lovely. Minutes of the last meeting. I've just got one observation, on minute 161, where you noted that, Lucy declared an interest on Markfield Lane Field, and it was hardly seen. But I think apart from that, I've got no other comment unless anybody else has on.
Okay, subject to that amendment, is everybody happy to?
Well, I can't vote, of course, because I wasn't here.
No.
I mean, I'm happy to propose.
I'll second them.
Yeah. You just have a show of hands that we're happy to vote that through, yeah, thank you. Do you want me to sign those after?
Yeah, or you need to sign each page, initial each page, and then sign at the bottom of the last one. Okay, thanks, I'll get that.
Co-options.
Yes, Chair, we've got two applications, for two vacancies.
Right.
The council, because of where we are with the election, the council is able to co-opt into those positions straight away. So there's four.
So we put a motion forward to council that we co-opt straight away the two applicants to the two vacant positions.
Yeah, we've got,
I think they're both known to us, aren't they?
yeah,
Yeah,
well,
we are.
one is,
Well, it would help.
one is, a Mr. B. Gannon. Yeah, Mr. B. Gannon. And one of them is, a former councillor, if you're happy to accept the name.
So, council, can we agree that we're going to co-opt?
Are we able to look at their photos
you
before we
certainly
decide?
Yes, by all means. Sorry, that's remiss of me, Lucy, but I know of both the gentlemen, so.
Does anybody else want to see them? Can I see them, Maureen?
No, I know nothing.
Yeah, I've got the paperwork here if you want to come and join us, chaps. Thank you.
Which one have been able to?
Klaus normally sits there.
Don't start that.
Yeah.
Don't start all that.
Wait, do you want to move around, Bob?
I'm just thinking of
Fifth, isn't it?
Yes.
squash against that box, isn't it?
Yes, do.
Just move your chair.
I'm moving
All
closer
right.
to you, Stuart.
I know.
We can put you back where you want to be now.
It's that wall, isn't it? Where people-
Oh, there you go then. Music chairs.
Been on me.
Long time no see. No, you're all right.
Welcome to the council. Have you got a spare agenda? I don't mind sharing.
Yeah, just a couple of months forward, yeah, Reba.
Thank you.
Oh, you've got the agenda.
Yes, thank you.
Are you back with us? Yeah. Lovely. So we now go on to item 8, county and borough councillors' reports. I know we've got one from Peter. We won't have a borough councillors' report, of course, because they're all,
Not yet.
they aren't yet in
Sworn in.
Next month.
next month, so don't forget it.
Today, Chairman, first day of office.
Really?
Technically.
One activity which is to be here.
Congratulations.
Ditto.
We've got a report from Peter Bedford which has been circulated, so that's
Can you just ask Peter for an update on the Fearped roundabout lights to see if that scheme has been amended yet. And I know he's putting a vehicle operated sign for London Road. Is that an addition to Ashby Road?
I've
Or
had,
in place of that?
it's in place. I've spoken to him about it.
Okay, so Ashby Road,
It's
their
now been,
black red sign is now gone. Okay, very general.
yeah. I've raised it with him.
Well, I suppose you could look at it that, I know I live on London Road, but 10 goes away, the amount of traffic, I get traffic here as well, you don't get kids and mothers going to school and back, I think that's the reason. And there's not a level, there's also not a proper level crossing for them, and I think that, to me, that's part one of what's going on on the roads. It wants a level crossing, it needs speed things, purely because of the kids and the mothers, there's nowhere to cross. There should, you're dead right, it should have been,
In the original
yeah.
application, permission was given to put a crossing in.
Never materialised.
Never appeared. I mean, Ashby Road, yeah, you're right, but Ashby Road had a lot of accidents.
Yeah,
We've had 2 fatalities.
well, we've had one on London Road as well.
The motor
Yeah.
vehicle
Yeah.
road. And so,
No, we don't want any fatalities, but, you know,
constant accidents.
yes,
You know, I've had a car in my garden.
yeah.
That came off Ashby Road into Markfield Gardens. I know what it's like.
Mm.
That was mine last week as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Could I then add on that, because David's reminded me, talking of accidents in front gardens, and you actually were instrumental in this, David. Do you remember when the cars kept going over the junction
Yeah.
and you had bollards installed, which had been absolutely perfect for years? Well, during the snow there was an accident and they've been partly demolished, and I've been trying to get highways. I reported it personally, but I've had absolutely no response. But you know, because you were the one that got them, that they need
Where's that,
reinstating. It's opposite the Ratby Lane, Thornton
Yeah.
Lane.
Yeah.
And I've had it logged with highways for weeks since the snow. So we just need those
So
put
where are
in.
they, Margaret?
Help me explain it, David. It's the junction.
It's the T-junction that comes from Ratby to Markfield.
And the same thing happened, didn't it, time and time again, straight over the junction, straight into my front garden.
Well, I'll report it and
Yeah,
I'll get some photographs as well.
yeah.
So the vehicle activated sign still needs to be, in my opinion,
Kept alive.
kept alive and put on Ashby Road, even if the parish looked to fund it.
Well, that might be something you'll want to include on your wish list
Yeah.
for your.
Yeah, because Forest Road also needs one.
Programme next year.
Forest Road also needs one.
Do we know how much they are?
I think about 6,000 if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But there's a
Depends
lot
what
of
you have written on them.
Yeah.
what colour you
I
want.
mean,
What colour?
we've still got the evidence from when we did the speed watch many years ago.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I mean, Ashby Road is one of the top.
It might be an opportunity
Top
later.
speed roads in the village, even London Road was there.
On the bottom of Leicester Road, before Ashby Road, haven't they? We've got that
Yeah, I don't know
there
why
now.
that one's been put there, to be honest.
It was the only place, David, that the county council would allow us to put
They're
it.
strategic in where they can be placed.
Yeah.
They never considered the top end, man, they never considered Ashby Road.
No, they didn't at the time.
Would it be more
And I
beneficial?
don't know why, because that's where the accidents were. Leicester Road, there was hardly any accidents.
Would it be worth
Well, we'll keep that on the.
It might be.
There might be.
Get moved.
I was going to say, would it be worth considering moving it?
Oh, yes.
Yes, because the difficulty, well,
It's electric,
the
isn't it?
difficulty will be that you can't
Because
have them in.
a polite reminder
close
that
proximity,
this isn't
but it
on the
could be
agenda,
moved.
we've got a
Yeah.
big agenda to get through
That
tonight.
could be an option,
Yeah.
yes, coming to
Move it, yeah.
Right, well, we'll take that forward. Right, item 9, power of general competence. Appendix 2, which has been circulated to all members. I've had a read through and I can't identify anything why we couldn't adopt it.
No, the only thing I noticed, Chair, was that on page 2, there are implications for future recruitment with the qualified clerk, that site, isn't it, Elaine?
Can't see it. I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, yeah, so to retain the power of competence, that has implications. Not at the moment.
Can't see it.
So you do meet the criteria to adopt it if you want? Yeah, well, I would propose that we do adopt it. Show of hands.
Okay.
Lovely. Calendar of meetings for 23/4. We've circulated a list of meetings. We have a problem on the June one, because the chair and vice at least are away for the first 2 weeks of June. So we either need to pull it forward to the last day of May or push it after the 16th.
Well, actually, it doesn't matter, but I've got the problem. I'm away the last week of May and the first week of
Right,
June.
so,
it's you that's away the first 2 weeks of June.
We're
Yes.
really looking at the 19th then.
So we could have it second week of June.
Yeah.
So that would mean moving it from the 6th to the 13th. Are you back on the 13th then? So that would then mean that we would have to move the planning.
Yeah.
Is that definite?
I mean, I personally, I would move it to the 19th. To the, or the 20th, whatever the Tuesday
Planning.
afterwards is, because there's nothing.
What
13th.
the planning?
The main meeting.
Full council will deal with any planning applications for that occasion, couldn't it?
Yeah, it could do. So you don't have to have a planning meeting in June if you don't want to, you can take that out. Yeah. And then do the 13th of June for the council.
Okay.
You can keep that if you want to.
Okay.
So that then I did want to just raise that the policy and resources committee has always been held in the day at 10 o'clock usually here. Now normally we would have it on a Tuesday, but because I'm not working on a Tuesday now, I'm working on Thursday, I've moved it to a Thursday, and the library can accommodate us on the Thursday. But I understand some members are going to have difficulty with the Thursday.
Are you working on Friday as well?
Yeah, I do work Friday.
So did you manage to see whether you could do it on Friday?
You can't have it in the library on Friday.
That's
Okay.
the problem.
You can have it, well,
And we can't have it in the community centre either. We
No.
haven't got that in space.
Okay.
you have to throw the totties out
What
again.
time is
Does it desperately have to be during the day, folks?
Well, Lorraine doesn't want to be working.
I mean, until I go, until you get a new permanent clerk in, it's going to be difficult to service that committee
Right,
in an evening.
right.
I mean, you could say that for now we say Thursday, and then when the new clerk comes in, you can adjust it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are those the dates for the Thursdays, are they then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
25th and 22nd of June.
Sorry, I'm just catching up. Does it affect the fact that we've just pushed the parish council meeting? That doesn't affect it,
No.
does it, in June?
No, not really, because I've worked out that we need the policy and resources committee at least a week before the next
Council.
Yeah.
council meeting, so I've worked on that. So apart from that change from the council meeting to the 13th and the deletion of the planning and highways committee on the 13th, everybody's happy with what's.
Yeah.
That is there, okay. Okay.
Item 11, scheme of delegation.
This is, I've circulated the current scheme.
Yeah.
terms of amendments, because it's worked very well with delegations, stroke committees, and to the clerk at the time, and the RFO, so unless anybody else has got.
Who would it, move it?
Yeah, I'm happy to. I mean, if we do need to adjust it as the year goes on, there's nothing that, there's nothing that stops us from doing that, so, yeah.
So if you're happy with those things,
Yeah.
okay, that's fine.
Appointment of members to the following committees: policy and resources, planning and highways.
Yeah, we need, we've always, previously we've had 5 members, and that's proved a little bit difficult when one member, because you can't have, a couple of members can't turn up, you can't have less than 3 members at the meeting, so I would be suggesting maybe 5 or 6. We've got, I think we've got enough on the policy and resources, because there's Margaret, Claire, Maddie, Lucy, so, and Klaus, but Stuart needs to go on it as well because he's chair. So that would take it to 7.
I mean, to be honest, I think from the purpose, from the point of view of new members, anything is good education, good.
It's a good committee to go on for newer members, yeah.
So if we're 7, I don't think it's a problem.
So I've got Stuart, Margaret, Klaus, Claire, Maddie, Lucy, and Maureen. Okay. And for the planning, I had Councillor Crook and Sprayson down,
And me as well.
and Lucy. Aaron?
Yes.
So that's 4. Stuart, you need to be on it anyway, you
Right,
chair.
yeah, no
That's
problem.
5. Okay, is that good with it?
Yeah,
We're happy with that, okay.
Resolved?
Are we looking at the terms of reference and delegations as well under that item? Because I've just got something to say on that one.
Yeah, we just done the terms.
Well, sorry if I missed it. Could I suggest that under Policy and Resource Committee terms of reference and delegations, under objectives, the second objective, to advise the parish council following research or investigation, could we add, and on advice from the clerk/RFO, procedures and functions in light of new legislation coming forth? Because if we don't add that little bit, with respect, we are not the experts. The clerk and RFO is the expert.
So where am I looking for? Oh,
The
yes.
second bullet point,
Right,
to
good
read,
one.
to advise the parish council following research or investigation and on advice from the clerk/RFO, procedures and functions in light of new legislation coming forth. Because we don't have that expertise.
Okay, yeah.
Chairman, this is not a very good start on the planning and highways, but the 16th of May coincides with me chairing the history group.
Oh, right.
Okay, I'll give you my apologies for that.
Yeah. Item 13 then, appointment of representatives to outside bodies. We have a number of outside bodies that we are duty bound to have a representation. Members have been circulated with a list of volunteers or persons appointed. Just in connection with the Jane Avery Trust, ex-councillor Mrs Williams and Mr Bowler are appointed members or representatives representing the parish council, although they're not parish councillors. Is that correct? Is that...
have, yeah.
They're trustees.
Yeah.
They're trustees in their own right.
So that's why those two persons are on there. Kevin's stood step
Mr.
forward
Chairman,
on the.
Sorry, I'm
Yes.
sorry to interrupt you. We will have a third person that represents the parish council because Barry is a member of Jane Avery as
Oh,
well.
right, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. That's good, so if you just run down them, I've put myself forward for the Jubilee Playing Fields Committee. Ideally that needs two, but obviously we're going through the process of determining what we're going to do with the playing field. If anybody else is interested or willing.
I'd like to.
Yeah, Claire. LRALC, that is the clerk, yourself, Lorraine. I don't think anybody will wrestle that off you. Jane Avery we've dealt with. Kevin's put himself forward for the Quarry Liaison Committee.
Is that the Borden quarry? Which quarry is it?
Well, I assumed it was.
And the
Well,
Used to be,
There's-
there's-
tarmac.
One of them's Midland Quarry products.
It's the Cliff Hill one.
Yeah.
What does that actually, do you know what it consists of? Because it's a new one to me.
No, I think, was it Edwin? No, it was Matthew, wasn't it?
Well,
before?
Matthew used to go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been
No.
involved in it.
But it will become more important as they
It's, I used to be on it, it's the company, borough council, parish council, county
Ruby Parish, all the parishes, they're all on it.
Not on it.
They are. They are.
weren't,
They are now.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah. It's a cast of thousands if you look at the invite.
Well, if you could ask them not to blast quite as loudly as they do, because I don't know your place, but mine rocks every day now. And I'll pass it to Markfield Library Trust.
Well, could I say, I suppose really I should have declared an interest. This is historic, and actually it was Barry 8 years ago, but we don't have a management committee.
Right.
So we don't need it now.
You don't need it.
Okay.
You're not trying to exclude us, Margaret.
Not at all, no. It's just that we don't have a management committee.
Leicestershire Footpath Association.
We are
Looking at you.
Just because I'm not walking.
Yeah.
What does it involve?
I honestly don't know, Barry.
Can I just say, it's, we get newsletters about once a quarter, and there's one meeting usually a year.
Right.
Which you can send your apologies if.
I suppose it would be good, Barry, to have a home for the newsletter to go to, just in case there's anything on it that.
We need to know.
We've already sent complaints about one footpath.
Yeah, well, there you go.
There you are, you know.
Got more experience than anyone, yeah.
Yeah.
Council Protection of Rural England, we need one member, and Kevin's put himself forward for that, which is great. So again, I'm sure we'll be interested to find out what that does when it happens.
Yeah, me too.
Leicestershire and Rutland Playing Fields Association.
Again, this is run pretty much like the Footpath Association. We get a newsletter maybe twice a year, and there's one meeting a year. It's usually their AGM, you know, they present accounts and elect officers and stuff.
Right. I'm happy to look at that one as well, Lorraine, because I think, again, with what we've got coming up with the playing field.
I'm happy to do that one.
Ooh.
There you go, David. Sold to the man in the corner, thank you. Hinkley and Bosworth Rural Conference, Vice Chair and Clerk.
Lorraine and I are not doing a whole day at 5 past
I think they need to extend the invitations now.
No.
The LCC Parish Liaison. I think we've got that designated.
That
because
is, yeah.
That's us, yeah, okay. And the Recreational Ground Trust, I'm more than happy to help you unravel that,
Okay.
put it back together. So unless anybody's got any serious objections or additions or anything we've missed, we can.
Just one clarification. You're covering Barden. There used to be a quarry liaison meeting with the people in Newtown Linford covering the quarryings over there, which impinged on some of the housing developments in that area. Has that stopped now?
I think we've had, it has.
I got put on it.
Right.
It's that other quarry, isn't it?
It
That's
is.
now not in use. And I got put on it a long, long time ago, but it's never happened.
All right.
The landfill site,
Yeah.
it's never happened.
No, it's not just landfill. It's the quarry itself. The development
Well,
of the quarry.
Yes, yeah. But there's no
It's finished.
meetings, nothing happens.
No,
Yeah.
Okay, we'll call that one
Yeah.
dead then. Lovely, thank you. Right, item 14, to appoint 3 members to the interview panel for the new clerk responsible financial officer vacancy. Anybody wanting or willing to be involved in that?
When we did it before, Chair, when we did it before, the last time round, we did the Chair, the Vice Chair and one other
that's right.
from
Yeah,
the general
That's
membership.
what I was going to say.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm more than happy to be a part of that.
They're looking at week commencing the 5th of June and some interview dates.
Well, that's
cuts
no good for
Stuart
me,
out.
then. Yeah,
And I don't get back from holiday till the 6th, so as long as it's later
After
on.
them 6. So if I might just, when are you back, Stuart?
16.
16.
What about Lucy's?
Yeah.
I don't come available, but it
Yeah.
depends when, what times.
Well, I'll go back to them and
Yeah.
see. So that's.
Just mindful that that's drifting a little bit, isn't it?
So Lucy, Margaret and yourself, Stuart.
If it's after the 16th, yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't find the advert.
It was, I haven't gone out yet.
Oh.
They've sent it to me today.
Oh, right, okay. That's why I couldn't find it. Right. Item 15, standing orders. To review the current standing orders. My personal view on this is that it's not something that we can review tonight, and I think we need to consider which elements, or if any elements, we want to review. I don't understand it needs to be a full review of all 26 standing orders.
This is the recommended standing orders for the National Association of Local Authorities.
Yes.
So they provide us each year with a template
Yeah.
of all the
Adjustments.
all the adjustments
Yeah.
and everything, and we haven't had any suggested amendments this year.
I think it does need a review, to be honest, because there is conflicts between our code of conduct and the standing orders. The one I'm aware of for definite is the dispensation process. And there may be more. If there's one, there may be others.
Is it worth referring it to policies and resources?
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if we do that, and I mean, there's nothing to stop us through the course of the year, can run through them all.
Yeah.
You know, but if we start, I think it's right to start with dispensations and conflict of code of conduct and standing order on dispensations, because it was a relevant event in the last 2 or 3 months. So I would propose that we pass it over to policy and resources, and they start with dispensations as first element to review. All in favour? Yeah. That takes us on to item 16, banking arrangements. To review the council's current banking arrangements and appoint Barclays as our provider for 23/4. I don't know what our current banking arrangements are, Lorraine, so perhaps you could.
Well, we have a current account and we have a reserve account.
Right.
That's about it, really.
That's the reference to the banking arrangements. I think,
Yeah. What you will need to do though now with the new council is that you'll need to review the signatories.
Right,
Normally it's chair, vice chair and one other.
right.
But we'll need to redo that mandate now that we've got a new council.
So that drags us into 17, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the proposal is that we carry on then with Barclays Bank. I guess under item 16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All in favour of that?
Yeah.
Agreed, yeah. And item 17, to review bank account signatories. So that needs to be chair, vice and
One other.
one other.
But is anyone carried on from your previous arrangements? No. All right. 'Cause that would have been the easiest thing.
Yeah,
For the third
it's not.
person.
No, well, I'll put my name forward, but you have to physically go into the bank to provide.
Provide what?
Yeah.
Although
Yeah.
Lucy
It's
has still-
easier.
To be a signature on the account, you have to go into
No.
a bank, into a
Yeah.
branch.
Someone's a Barclays
Mm.
customer already. But
I'm
you
already
know
with
how to
Barclays.
disclose that.
I'm already with Barclays.
It's easier.
Hmm.
It is easier. Because you don't have to go in, do you? No. If you're an existing customer.
No.
Well, if you're happy with the third person, Barry,
Yeah, okay.
if everybody's.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll await my instructions as to what needs to happen. Takes us on to item 18 then, review of effectiveness of internal audit to consider the report, appendix 7, which has been circulated.
Who does it?
I'll just make sure I've got the right one, I'll share it with you. Is it that one?
No. It's the one before. Basically, it's the council looking at the internal audit provision, whether they're happy with it.
Can you give us a sort of overview of it anyway, and just take us through it just so that we're up to speed?
Well, we don't have, we have to have we have to have an internal and external audit each year. We have to appoint an independent internal auditor. The external auditor is already appointed to us through the audit commission, so you don't have any say about who your external auditor is. But the internal auditor, you do have, and every year they ask you to review those arrangements that you've got in place for your internal audit. And at the moment, we have our internal audit is provided to us by the Leicestershire and Rutland Association of Local Councils. They act as our internal auditor. So if you're happy with the service you're getting, yeah.
Yeah, I think.
How long have we been with them?
3 years.
Right.
I propose that we carry on with that.
I'll second that.
Joe Hampton, please.
Okay. That's fine.
Uh, 21, sorry, we've done 19 and 20 together there, so we've gone in and we've approved that as well, that's great. So 21 is the annual governance and accountability return.
You haven't done the internal audit report.
Sorry,
You've missed number 19.
sorry, I thought that's what,
No. We did the effectiveness of internal audit.
Right.
This internal audit report is your report provided to you by our internal auditor following her internal audit
Yes.
that was undertaken for last year.
that's the appendix 8 then, isn't it?
Yeah.
My only comments on there is, we're being advised to bring back into play a second councillor to check invoices and pay them. The way I read that under internal controls.
Yeah.
I guess that was in place
Yeah.
September or
Yeah,
whatever.
well, normally policy resource, it's done through policy
That's right,
resources.
so that acts as the second check,
Yeah.
with you. Yeah, that makes
And then of
sense.
course that didn't happen, so
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
September.
Yeah.
Well, I think it happened for a couple of months.
Yeah. Yeah. So obviously we've got to update the bank mandate, which comes under Barclays element.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the other one that we need to just be mindful of, guys, is the reserves.
Yeah.
And the reserves policy. I think we've got to keep that rolling month on month, just to make sure that we don't. Apart from that, that was my only observations. Does anybody else has got any other queries or?
Yes.
Did we sign that one off?
Well, what you do is you note the report and
Yeah.
you agree to take forward recommendations.
Yeah. So, we move that we note the report and take forward the recommendations. All those in favour?
Okay.
Thank you. So that does take us then to the annual governance and accountability report or return, which is item 9.
You have the paper one.
Yeah, and you have to consider all the statements in section 1. And agree that, you know, those statements.
Could I check something here, Chair, through you, and Lorraine, I'll have to take your advice on that. I've had a little bit of a difficulty with this as the new girl tonight for the old council.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that I can actually endorse some of those actions because I simply don't know. So do I just opt out?
Well, what we have to do is we have to go through those statements.
This is the mandatory.
And if
documents,
it's
isn't it?
majority of the
Yeah.
council.
Which is fine.
It's fine, it's
Yeah,
just the majority.
Yeah, I
of the
don't think it will mess anything up, but I
Yeah.
just wanted to limit that I can't actually endorse this because I wasn't here, so I don't know. Does that make sense?
But it's, I have to say, it's the same for a lot of the
Yeah,
councillors, because they only came on in February.
in February.
So, but we do have in place effective.
You have to agree to it tonight.
We do.
Lorraine. You have to agree to it tonight.
Yeah, because it
Yeah.
was scales.
Well, we have
It's not
to,
audit and resources committee to,
well, we are going to be struggling for time. There's a time frame.
It's gone to the wire.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So if we don't agree these tonight, then it would, in actual fact, the Policy and Resources Committee aren't really supposed to approve this.
No.
It's got to be council.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, whilst you could refer it to them to look at, it would have to come back to council to be approved
Yeah.
and to be signed off. And you're looking at, I'm just going back to the calendar of the meetings, just bear with me. So the last possible time you could look at it is the 13th of July, 13th of June. It has to be with the external auditors by the 30th of June.
But the internal audit report will give us some assurance, won't it?
Yes, because our internal auditor has been through all of our
Yeah.
procedures and everything, and there's nothing
she has raised in terms of just.
This affects any of those questions?
No, I don't think so.
Well, if not, that's fair enough for me then.
I think my only, if I could start, my only comments are against question 8. And I would, I think we've got some risk still around the community centre and the NCA. And I think we've got some risk around the possibility of rates at the community centre, which has got a cash implication.
Yes, but don't forget, this statement, you're talking about the previous audit year. You're talking from April 2022 to March 2023.
Yes, and that's when these risks were, these risks became.
Yes, but they didn't become, I mean, in terms of, but you still managed it, that's what this is all about. And you've considered, because it's been into the council, hasn't it? Every single decision relating to the litigation and everything came to council decision.
Yes.
So it's not like somebody's gone off.
No, I'm not suggesting that at all. My only concern is whether or not we make financial provision if these things don't go in our favour. That's my only concern.
Well, then that would be, you would pick that up in this year's.
Right.
Okay.
Right, okay, well, if that's where it sits, that's where it sits. That's
Yeah,
my
because you're moving forward into this year.
Yeah.
This is when, and this is where your financial risk is now because of what you've done in terms of the precepts and everything.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that really relates to this forthcoming year in terms of your risk.
Yeah.
Because when you set the precept last year, September, October 2021, this wasn't an issue as such.
As long as we don't have to report that on this report, then that's.
No, if there's an issue around the community centre going forward, that would be part of the internal audit report in March, April next year.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Well, thank you, that gives me reassurance in my position, so thanks for that.
I've got no other comments, unless anybody else has got any comments?
No.
Are you happy to approve those statements?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay then, if you, you've got a chance to pop in on Thursday then.
Yeah.
We can sort that out.
No problem.
Okay, and I can get them sent off.
22 financial report, to approve staff report including income and expenditure for the period 5th of April to 9th of May. Appendix 10 again, which has been circulated.
I've also circulated a smaller addendum, which covers invoices that have come in since the dispatch of the addendum.
Yeah. Is the grass cutting what he's going to do or what he's not?
No, it's my question exactly. It's for what he's done, but he has responded to my complaint.
Brilliant.
So he's apparently they missed a cut.
Yes.
So now they're playing catch up, but he has responded to rather than the. There is one item that isn't on that report that I just wanted to bring to your attention. I just wanted clarification about is our Zoom subscription is due on the 13th of May.
Right.
And it's a matter for whether the council still want to pursue that. It's £115 plus VAT a year. And it's, at the moment, it automatically rolls over.
We're not using it.
So if you want me to cancel it, I just need
Resolved council?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine, I can sort that out then.
Brilliant.
I'll go for another Yeah.
Okay. 23, bank reconciliation statement, you sent that through.
Yeah.
Everything balances.
Yeah.
I did check it. So, again, I've got no comments or queries.
Could I just make a general comment?
Yes.
I've been looking at all these various audit reports for the first time, and these things on payment. If there's a major amount, if there's a major project, some major work contracted out, when that is completed, does someone inspect it to make sure it's satisfactorily completed before the invoice is raised?
I would say yes.
It is,
we would,
okay.
but I don't think we've been in that position since the playing field. And we're not likely to be this year, to be honest, because
Okay.
we've only got limited funds available. So bank reconciliation statement, I would propose that we approve that.
Yeah.
Not down the room, thank you.
Yeah. In future, all of these financial reports will go to foreseen resources,
Yeah.
so you won't get them here, they'll go to there.
Brilliant. Social media policy, item 11. I would propose that we put that to to policy and resources.
There was going to be some training on that.
We haven't got any dates yet.
Right, so we're still awaiting it.
Yeah, they have to wait for the right number of people to up to the limit, so, that is still, that's still, as soon as they get some dates, I'll let you know.
Lovely.
Because that could be item number 2 on the policy and resources.
Yeah.
Review and standing orders.
I think so, yeah.
That brings us on to planning.
Mr. Chairman, when you get to MPC, I'm believing, because that's what I declared the interest in.
No, no need to read more.
Yes, they do.
Sorry?
Say anything.
What I say, yes, it does.
Can you go in the kitchen?
You can go in the kitchen,
No,
shut
not
the
the
door.
kitchen. Sorry? Go in the kitchen. You can go in the kitchen and shut the door.
Right, so planting applications, I think they're all related to trees, and Kevin kindly got our tree warden to make comments. So on the first one, 23257, Tony's made comment that he doesn't think it was long ago when the works were undertaken. I had a look at it this morning while I was doing my little rounds. I think it does want tidying up. I don't think there's any reason for us to get Kevin, is there, to it?
I've not seen it myself, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, he's Tony made a comment, but I don't necessarily see why we would want to object to it being tidied up. It does overhang 163, and whether it's owned by the people in Uplands or in the Croft or whoever it is. So I've got no comment. If anybody else has got no comment,
No comment.
no comment on that one. 354. So, well, I can only assume that, oh yeah, 353. Yeah, I can only assume that Tony's probably got his numbers mixed up, because he's put 535, and I just wonder whether he meant 354. But again, I've got no. Have you seen that one, Kevin? At the end of, it's on Main Street as well. A eucalyptus to be taken down.
Yeah, I have, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just bringing up Tony's report.
He's made comment to one that's referenced 535, which we haven't got a 535 on our list.
Does it mean 353?
353's got no objections.
Ah, okay.
So the only one that he hasn't really reported on is B 354.
203 Main Street.
That's right at the top end.
Is that a new register?
Yes,
Is that it?
that's probably the boy. Yeah,
I think that's it.
yeah.
Hmm.
And
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not-
I know where that, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not a tree specialist.
yeah,
but,
yeah. It's next to the police.
Oh, right, yeah.
Triangle there, so yeah, fair comment,
Yeah.
that is really,
Yeah, yeah.
It's not ground or at all.
So no objections on that then, from that position. C, which is 353, this is at 29 the Green. 353 Tony's got no objections, he's put no objections forward on that one, Kevin, so I just go again as far as I'm concerned, I've got no objections if anybody else has.
Well, yeah, there's nothing being fouled, is there? It's
No.
tidy up, isn't
Tidy
it?
up, it is pretty rampant, to be fair. So, we're okay with that one? Yeah?
Yep.
She can come back and
She can come back.
No, it's all right down there.
We'll see.
We've just done it.
We'll just put it here. But she can stay there.
Keep up there.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
375, 375 our tree warden's got no objections, so the expert I'm happy to take that as
Yeah.
no objection. Again, it's on Main Street, what's it going on Main Street?
We're so set everywhere.
Yeah, are we happy to resolve that?
Yeah.
No objections. And the last one is
Sycamore again.
E. Now there's a TPO on E,
Hey.
which is 380, but again, it's a tidy up, I think. But again, the tree warden has got no objections to what they're proposing to do on this application. So, as far as I'm concerned, I would move that we have no objections on that as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Lovely, that's gone through the planning matters. Item 25, summer community event. To consider the request of the Brownies for the parish council to organise a community event on Saturday, the 26th of August.
Move it.
Yeah, move it.
Happy with that.
You're happy?
Yeah. I think it's a case of a bit more of moving it.
We need someone to do it.
I want somebody to, I'm going to
Take it on, yeah.
to help.
Of course, yeah.
They want the parish council to be the lead. So what they want is that, you know, a couple of councillors who are prepared to act as leads on the organisational side and stuff like that. It's not a case of just
I'm
saying,
not
yeah,
here,
we're going
I'm
to do
not
it, but then expect the Brownies, they want the parish council to take the lead.
How will it affect with the community centre? That's my only thing, because obviously we're trying to.
It probably won't, because if it's something that's organised,
Organised, they'd have to honour it.
then it's
Right,
on.
okay.
So we carry on business as usual.
I'm happy to liaise with the Brownies on it and see what we can do together. Sorry, no, okay, sorry. Right, so, I mean, I'm happy to.
You'll be rolling yourself, I think.
I think
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
yeah.
Any other willing participants? I think we have got the,
I can go down, I used to be a guide, so Brownies is no problem.
yeah, I think it's about the bit up to the date that the meeting was for. organised,
Yeah.
deciding what they're going to do and how they're going to do it.
Well, I think that we'll need to, we'll have to have a chat to them then, won't we?
Yeah.
And see what
Yeah, I
we can
think
come up
so.
with.
Could I suggest that we, if you want to take on board the first discussion with the
Yeah.
on behalf of the council, and then
Yeah,
come back and
absolutely.
just let us know what it
they
looks
want,
like.
and yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
What I would be anxious about is if we overcommit, given what.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let me have a conversation first before we commit to it.
Yes.
If I can have, I mean, obviously her email's there, but have we got any? So could you give me your details and we'll come together and we'll have a chit chat and see what we can come up with. Yeah?
Could I just ask one very quick question? Why the community centre and not the school if it's a PTA event?
It's not, I wanted to try and organise something with all the different groups, all the community. I'm part of the PTA, which is like massive fun, but I also spend a lot of time at the university, a lot of time at the library.
Yes.
So, it's more that the community's not had anything going on like that for a while, not with the whole of the community, the environment.
Yeah.
So it's all this group.
So,
You're trying to collaborate them all together for one
Yeah.
day.
yeah.
Yeah, well, let's have a, leave me your details and let's have a conversation. and
Yeah,
see
it
what-
can work, Maddie.
Yeah.
It
Lovely.
can work. And the library
Well, I do
will
know-
contribute.
I do know the scouts and
Yeah.
things like that.
And the
so-
library
and
will
the library.
contribute, Amanda.
I think that's the key, is to get people on board at day one.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, rightly so, yeah.
Lovely, okay, I think
Yes,
That's it.
that's it. I think that takes us to the end of the public, thanks to